There it is. Hello. Hi, everyone. Trying something new with my clip, with my lapel mic. I actually turned it around so it can clip properly onto my shirt. But yeah, here we are. How's everyone doing? For those of you guys who celebrate Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, I hope you had a great weekend. That's why I took the extra day off yesterday, because we were out of town for the weekend, and I needed a morning to just kind of recover. So, but how are you guys doing? Hello, Shane, Alden, Pauline, Deanna, Michael, Victor, hello. Creative, hello. How are you all doing? Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for waiting. I took one last look at my hair before I came downstairs, and I was like, I need to put it up in something that looks at least somewhat cute. Because truth be told, it's a little bit of an oily mess right now. So this is what we're working with. Let's see. Gotta go back to homework. All good, Alden. All good. Thank you so much for joining. Ruth, hello. Welcome back. Happy Lunar New Year to you too. Happy Valentine's. Thank you, Victor. So Valentine's is on Wednesday. So tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. Oh, blind guy. Thank you. So Michael, looks like you were out celebrating Lunar New Year as well. Good. And Creative, you're on your lunch break, so you're also going to be practicing. Fantastic. Good. And Victor, thank you for liking today's stream. But yeah. Okay, so why don't we hop to it? Oh, I didn't turn on my back light. Let me go do that really quickly. And then we will grab our flute out. Okay, I'm going to put it up pretty bright, the light behind me, just to offset the natural light coming out of the window. Not that I think that made too much of a difference right now, but it might make more of a difference later once the light starts streaming in. But anyway, let's take out our flute and get to work a little bit. I am oh yeah, my last video came out with my mom. That was really fun to put out. I've been giving some thought to the whole, because now that I am uploading videos regularly again, I am kind of getting sucked into the analytics. I don't know if this is something you guys even care about, but as a creator, the system is sort of hell-bent on getting you to look at your analytics. And there are just some videos that perform better than others. Um, sometimes I like that, and sometimes I don't, because sometimes I like putting, you know, more personal things out there that maybe don't um, fit with the algorithm. So yeah, I think sometimes some things just don't show up on people's home pages because the algorithm doesn't like it. When it comes to the flute, the algorithm loves how-to videos, loves reviews, and which I do love to do. It's just that it's not the only thing I like doing. And uh, the algorithm also loves more like behind the scenes looks at stuff. Behind the scenes as in like like flute maintenance and that type of thing. But yeah, that type of content is not all of the type of stuff that I like to do. Some of it is. So I'm pretty hopeful that some of the stuff that I'm going to make soon, the algorithm will like. But yeah, the algorithm did not seem to really like the my mom videos, weirdly enough. But I think you guys will really like it. So, but yeah, that's just kind of some of the woes of being a content creator. Um, yeah, exactly. The analytics are definitely a blessing and a curse. So it tempts you to only make the types of things that the algorithm will like. But then it's still a guessing game. So at the end of the day, you should just make what makes you happy. Um, Viva, thank you so much. Uh, yeah, I know she's so cute. I love it, and that's why I want to share her because, like, I think her outlook on being like the mother of a musician, of like an artist, is very interesting. I don't uh I don't often see parents like her, especially in the kind of creative space. There are people like her. It's just they're rare. You see them every now and then because uh, among Asian American creators, you do see people featuring their parents. So from a long time ago, Kev Jumba involved his dad. Um, there's a Feed Mei, a food YouTuber, um, and she features her mom quite often. I love watching her mom videos. And I sort of like from watching her mom videos, I sort of started to understand why you guys like watching my mom videos. It's a really fun inside look into like the like a very intimate look into me actually, because you get to see me from my mom's point of view. Yeah. So there are people like my mom out there, but you don't come across them very often. So, you know, she's like the Asian version of your mom. That is fantastic. Does my mom befriend other flute students' parents also? That is a super interesting question. Um, she is friendly and polite. Um, and she will absolutely strike up a conversation with other people if she wants. But I would say that my mom is an introvert. Um, and in the growing up in the flute world that I grew up in, it was very competitive. So if you met other flutists and their parents, um, things could get a little awkward and very tense. So the instance that I'm thinking of in particular where I feel like my mom really stood out of the crowd was I don't think I've ever told this story before, but it was a competition, a local competition in Vancouver that I participated in when I was 16. And when we were backstage, I think I can't remember if I had just played or if I was preparing to play. And I'm sitting there just kind of like vibrating off of my seat because of so much adrenaline. And my mom is like, like she's like, whatever, so she's kind of like looking around, and she noticed that one of the competitors who she had seen before normally wears glasses, was holding her music, getting ready to go on stage without her glasses on. And her glasses were sitting kind of nearby. And, since she's holding her music, like it's pretty obvious that she needs her glasses to read the music. And so my mom went up to her and was like, hey, by the way, before you go on stage, remember to take your glasses. And, like that student was so like, oh, like that act of kindness is just not something that at that time was normal backstage during a competition. I would say it's probably more normal now. I have had the privilege of being a professor at a music festival, and so I got to see the flutists interacting with each other now. And I would say that nowadays that's probably less common to have that type of like competitiveness to the point of like letting people sabotage themselves. And it was, yeah, like watching my mom do that, I feel really affected me, because I was like, it is like, I don't have to get sucked into the competitiveness of this, like, flute world. Like I can extend kindness and generosity in this type of like very tense competitive world, and like I won't be like I won't suffer because of it, or my reputation won't suffer because of it. Yeah, like watching my mom extend that kind of kindness like really really had a huge effect on me. And I will remember it forever. And I think that was one of the instances that really like I think influenced the direction of how I carry myself in the flute community. I want to extend kindness and generosity, and I want people to know that you can share. You can just be a nerd, and you don't have to build up walls. You don't have to pretend that you are more than what you feel you are, like you can just be yourself, and that is beautiful and amazing. And so yeah, you've never understood the parental competitiveness. Yeah, there was a lot of that in that backstage. I recall there was a lot of like parental competitiveness where like you can feel the tension. The tension was so thick that you feel like you could slice it, like, and the weird thing was that the competitiveness you really felt was a lot of it was between the parents, because my mom was not the only parent back there. So that was, yeah, I'll never forget it. I also have never told this on stream, but or in a video, because I never know how to bring it up. But uh there was a competitor, because it wasn't just a flute competition, it was like a general wins competition. There was a competitor there who was freaking adorable. It was a dude, it was a guy. He played the clarinet, and I swear, I think he had a crush on me. Um, and he was just the most gentlemanly dude ever. He must have been around my age. Um, and just really, like, I only ever met him in those 3 days and never saw him again. But I have to thank him because the way that he treated me was so like kind and sensitive and gentlemanly, and just he was very genuine. And there was a moment when he was checking, because they would post our whatchamacallits, like results from each round up onto like a public bulletin board in the building. And so everyone would have to go up to the bulletin board to see if they made it to the next round. And this dude looked down the list, not for his name, but for my name, and was like, Joanna, you made it in. But at that point, we hadn't yet actually like properly introduced ourselves to each other, because we're like teenagers and we're just so awkward. And so I hadn't actually told him my name. He had gone to like, I think he had heard me in the first round or so and went to check what my name was. So of course I did the, like, we're teenagers, you know? No, like, communication is just so bad, okay? So of course what I did was check what his name was. Uh, but then I, like, after the competition, I never saw him again. But again, just rounding back, I have to really thank him for showing up in my life for that weekend, because he really, like, I was in a bit of a slump, because before him, the first guy I ever had a crush on was also, I have a thing for very sensitive, gentlemanly guys, like soft, sensitive, gentlemanly guys. I've always had a thing for them. So my very first crush was like that, but I had to leave him in California because and we never like really had a relationship blossom into anything, but like I had to leave him in California because I moved up to Vancouver. Um and it was just a few years of like, you know, when you're at that age, you kind of almost want to have a crush on a guy. And there was no one that was remotely attractive to me. And, um, and then this guy showed up for a weekend when I was 16 and just kind of like restored my faith that I would find that there are guys like him that are out there, that there are like soft, sensitive, gentlemanly guys out there. Um, I think the thing is our society doesn't really encourage, I think, like, um, doesn't really praise soft, sensitive, gentlemanly guys. Um, yeah, you see you see what I mean, right? Like, it sucks when there are no crushable boys around you. Exactly. Like that's how I felt, was like there just wasn't really anyone that I liked, you know? And so it was really hard to figure out even what I do like. Like, I didn't figure out exactly the type of guy I liked until, like, I think it was after I met John and I started to kind of put everything together, and I realized that every single person I've ever had a crush on is exactly the same. Like, personality wise is exactly the same. Um And but yeah, this dude at this competition absolutely restored my faith in boys. And I gotta hand it to him. He really helped me hold out and not settle for um for a relationship that I felt would not actually, do anything for me, you know? Um yeah, like I gotta hand it to him. Those 2, 3 days that we saw each other and had absolute crap communication, we really could have just walked up to each other and been like, "Hi, my name is blah blah blah," you know? you know like you really could do that, right? But when you're 16, you like you get all in your head and everything. But yeah, that dude restored my faith in boys. So um yeah, exactly, blind guy. That, like, some people in the US still equate softness with being not masculine and perhaps gay, which there's nothing wrong with being gay at all. I mean, you guys maybe have seen my video about that. Um Oh no! You had no clue your friend had a crush on you until after you moved. Oh my gosh. Um but yeah, like um Viva, you make a very good point. You think girls reward softness, though it may be less obvious, but I think it's true. Yeah. I think for me though, I've just always been into that type of personality. That kind of like soft, sensitive, genuine, gentlemanly. And for me, it's one more thing, which is to have the backbone of like a god. Like they're unwavering in their convictions and their beliefs. They're not a pushover. Like that's the type of guy I like. Soft, sensitive, genuine, gentlemanly, and has a backbone. Yeah. And I've only really had, I think, I want to say maybe in total 3 or 4 crushes before John. 4, something like that, 4 or 5. I'm trying to count in my head. I think it's only like 5 people I've actually had crushes on before I met John, and a lot of those crushes fizzled out when I realized that they weren't. Like 3 of those crushes fizzled out when I found out that they didn't have one of those 5 um, qualities, and not that I knew at that time, but like looking back, like I'm like looking back at it from like hindsight, using hindsight. But yeah, that is the type of person I really like. And yeah, so I have to hand it to that guy. Have to hand it to that guy at that competition. He really restored my faith in guys. Oh, am I right, blind guy? You are gay and a lovely person. Well, there you go. You have proven my points. uh, yeah. Let's see, Copano, you're going to start practicing while listening to me. Oh, fantastic! I really should start practicing too. Learning the second movement of Mozart F major sonata, K280. Oh, interesting. Hey, that's great. Yeah, to find a sensitive non-pushover is like the holy grail. Exactly. I think that's why I've had so few crushes. It's because that is the type of person I like, and if they're like too machismo, I am. That's a no for me. That's a personal opinion. Very personal opinion. It's not bad to be machismo. Okay, I'm just not attracted to it. That's all. There's, you know, you know, yeah. Yes, Viva, you put it perfectly. I'll read out what Viva is saying. The backbone, or just an idea in some way of how our belief about this matters. Then it's easy to go forth with being kind. It's a kind of strength, though quiet. That's what I like. That's exactly what I like. I like a very quiet strength. Like, they don't have to flaunt it because they don't have to. You know what I mean? They don't flaunt it because they don't have to. They have it, you know? Really, blind guy? The way I talk through things helped bridge some things, with some gaps with your teacher. I'm glad. Even this conversation about my crushes on boys, you know, maybe. The macho thing is okay as a spice, not the whole dish. Oh, that's a great way of putting it. But yeah, so I've actually always wanted to tell you guys that story. The boy at the competition. I've always wanted to tell you guys that story because, like, yeah, it is just what a what a great moment. I even wrote it down. I wrote it down afterwards so that I would keep as much of the memory of it as possible because it was so sweet. But yeah, he really restored my faith in guys. Absolutely. Your niece has a new baby and she is a high school marching band school teacher. We think her baby boy will be a musician. Well, leave it up to the baby boy. I'm always of the opinion that you want to see what kids are capable of and push them in the direction that you can tell that they are gravitating towards, you know? I think that being pushed into an expectation is will not yield the full ability of this person. Like, there's a, like, if you want a kid to do great things, you have to see what they actually want to do. You know, the reason why I say this is because I deeply feel this right now, because in 2023 was when I discovered, like, truly what I like to do and what I'm good at. It took me a long time, but I'm finally here. And part of the reason it took so long was because I hadn't realized it, but I had been living with this expectation, kind of like a music school, classical music world society, general expectation that you need to perform, that your students all need to go to music school to boost your reputation. Like, there's an expectation of what I am supposed to achieve. But I realized in 2023 that I don't care to achieve those things, because this is just not what I care about. Like, what I care about is what I'm doing right now, like streaming, talking to you guys, sharing my life in a way that I feel would be edifying to you guys and helpful and comforting, and like being the streamer and the content creator that I wish I had when I was in school. And that's what I want. And I realized that because I want it, I'm good at it. And I feel like I kind of put a cap on what I allowed myself to do. You know, like, for the things that I'm good at, like reviewing flutes, etc., stuff like that, right? Like, I recognize now that I'm good at it. Whereas before I was like, oh, like, my reviews happen to pop off. And I would completely, like, not think about the fact that maybe I'm good at it. you know? It was more like, oh, that's just a fun thing that I like to do. It's fun and nerdy, and it's fun to like, you know, explore with you guys. But that's not like I'm waiting for the opportunity to do real musician things. And funny enough, I had the opportunity to do real musician things, quote, real musician things in 2023. And I realized that not all of it is what I want to do. Some of it is what I want to do, but not all of it is what I want to do. And that was a huge revelation to me. And I realized that I had been putting a cap on the things I'm good at. Like I was not allowing myself to buy like, you know, a foot pedal so I could change between my microphones. You know, like I was not allowing myself time to fiddle with my stream. I was not allowing myself, you know, like, you know, just the funds to do the things that I want to do. Like I was actually putting a pretty much a physical cap on what I realize now I'm good at. And yeah, all that to say, super long-winded, but all that to say, I don't like the idea of thinking that the offspring of someone will do the same type of great thing that their parents did. Because I could see the effect that I had on myself, putting expectations on just myself. How much worse would it be if someone else put the expectation on them, you know? So, yeah. I've thought about this a lot. I'm sure you guys can tell. Saturday, hello. You went from music college to rock bands, a total mind shift. Yeah. 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 Honoring our own internal goal is really, in the end, what matters the most. Yeah, exactly. And I think it takes us a long time to find out what our internal goal is. I think that, like, in a way, part of me feels like I'm a little late to really figure out exactly what I'm good at, which is so ironic because I have this whole channel that literally has, we're routing right back to the beginning of this stream, literally has the analytics that tells me what I'm good at. Like I have numbers and data to show me what I am good at, you know? And I ignored it all because I was just like, oh, that's just chance. That's just luck, you know? And you know, it took me a really long time to figure out what I'm good at. So you still struggle with music college mentality and you're 52 years old. Well, yeah, I'm still struggling with it. I still waver back and forth. It's still a struggle to really keep focused on what I know brings me joy and brings you guys joy, and you know, yeah. I suppose you're right that we don't have to worry about timing. Yeah, we have our whole lives to do that. Yeah. I mean, like, everyone's journey is different too, right? Like, there's no real deadline for anything. And yet, like, I think that it's also fair to acknowledge that I look back and I think to myself, if I had known this 10 years ago, I wouldn't have wasted so much time. But at the same time, is it wasted time? Because that time that I spent figuring out myself, would I even be where I'm at now if I did not spend that time figuring out myself? So there's all this kind of like back and forth. I think that's what I mean by like the like waffling, you know. So yeah. Anyway, I really should practice. So let's get to it. let me switch us to here. I need to grab my practice checklist out because apparently that was the one thing I did not actually grab. Okay, so we'll do this. Move that up to harmonics. Okay. Wonderful. Hey, you're 58 and you're finally doing it. You're going to grad school, doing what you actually want to do. There you go. Plus picking the flute over, flute? 4 years? What am I doing here? There we go. Okay. Oh, picking the flute over the clarinet you were given in 5th grade. That's hilarious. Thank you, Copano. Yeah. It was 4 years ago. Got it. I think whenever I come to like this type of like realization about myself, I'm always like, wait, like I like what I've wanted to do has been here all along, you know? Yeah. Oh, Michael, it's totally fine. I'm so sorry if I've missed some of your comments. It's just that I'm only human and I can't read every single one. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have noticed. I have to kind of like quickly skim and respond to the ones that are like, you know, still like in line with the conversation that we're having. Any live performances I will attend? Not in the near future. I'm not aware of any. Yeah, so we'll just see. We will see. But for now, no. I'm just kind of concentrating on what I do best. So, okay, there we go. We got that going. Okay, let's do this. Time to practice. Okay, we do want at least one earplug in just to protect the ear a little bit. Is that the, no, I don't think that's a small one. Yeah. There we go. Do this. Okay, let's start playing. Okay, I won't complain about that. that I think I still have the tendency to overblow today. So still tendency to overblow. I need to watch my support as well. Make sure it's really the way I want them to be. You know, Beth, I think that's exactly what happened to my dad. He had sort of like a complete vocational change, which I talked about we talked about it in the video we just uploaded. Would I use my thumb ports again? I don't know. We will see. For now, no. But maybe just for the ease and comfort, I might pop them back on sometime. Okay. High notes are definitely more resistant these days. It is making me think Hedron Cork is probably a little bit dead, but we'll deal. We'll deal for now. Okay, we're doing number 14 tongued. So the bass note is C6 and or C3 if you are thinking just in flute terms. And we will be jumping to every other note. Okay. All right. Lips a little bit tight around the higher note. And then going into the lowest notes, I think I'm overshooting. So I'm going to try the last bits again. Yeah, I'm not supporting enough on the low notes. As soon as I like engage the support, it just comes right out. So need to support a little bit more. Yeah, so I have to remember that the lower air pressure your stream is, the more unstable it is. And therefore, the more you have to support. So you really have to feel to suck in the air by protruding your lower core muscles, and then you grind them in and engage them and thus prop up your diaphragm. You can actually feel it propping up your diaphragm. And then you trust, and then those low notes come out. So, all right. Okay, I'll take it. That was pretty darn good. I am okay with this. What time is it? Or how much time do I have? Oh, okay, not bad. I think what I'll do is I'll do one more articulation. So I think this is slurring from the bass note to the changing notes. For a hot second there, I was doing my support backwards because I was like, wait, why is it not working? Yeah, I was doing my support backwards, so I wasn't actually propping up my diaphragm. And then you guys could hear that the last one, that low B, popped out, right? Because I was actually engaging my core and thus propping up my diaphragm properly. So yeah, we still have a little ways to go. I can definitely feel I'm still slipping back and forth, but that's okay. As you guys are talking about, you got to be bad at things before you get good at them, right? So, circular breathing. you later, Pauline. Good night. Sleep well. Okay, I did one good one there. So I really need to concentrate on the the in and out. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's move down here. Oh, I need to update this to be the third articulation. Okay, so we're doing 149 today. What is 149? Okay, 149 is triads. So we're starting with E diminished. Okay. I definitely need to redo that one, but while I take a quick breather, Flotily, hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? So I'm also learning circular breathing. So I am probably actually not the best person to get tips from right now because I'm actively learning it. But I can tell you what I'm working on, which is working on pushing the air out of my mouth while inhaling. That's essentially what circular breathing is. One of our chat members here has actually written a document on his perspective of it. And it's a pretty fun one because he explains the pushing out of the air from your mouth, kind of like if you were to like push out something that sounds like a fart, like you go like that. It kind of feels like that, but we're doing it with a flute embouchure and a flute airstream. And I thought that was a really great imagery because that is kind of how it feels while you're sucking in air through your nose. So there's that. There are the more kind of official thoughts on it. Trevor Y has, I think, a page on it on in one of his books. I can't remember if it's his advanced practice techniques or if it's his like proper playing or something like that. It's one of his books. He has a page on circular breathing. Robert Dick also has, I think, a good long spiel on circular breathing, I think. Yeah, so, and I attended a masterclass held by Jasmine Choi back in May of 2023. And she talked about how she does it. And it took her, she told us, 5 years to learn it to such a degree that she doesn't even think about it as she's doing it. Yeah, those are kind of my sources right now. I'm figuring stuff out as I go. We'll see how it goes, you know. If I ever reach a point where I can do it and I can do it well, I'll make sure to make a video about it because I like explaining that type of stuff. But as of now, I'm probably not the best source to ask about it as I'm actively figuring it out myself. For this particular exercise, I am using long B flat, so 1 and 1. And it's just to create a little bit more of a difference between this chord and the next chord after it, which uses the B natural instead of a B flat. Because otherwise I'm just doing the same exercise 2 times in a row, you know, just with my thumb in a different spot. And it doesn't actually feel that much different. So it's fun to challenge yourself. Another chat member, Nicholas Flute, or I think he goes by Just Another Flute Guy here on YouTube. He mentioned that his professor does this type of thing for all their exercises, you know, as a fun way to challenge yourself and keep yourself challenged. And I was like, that's awesome. I'm going to adopt that. So that's why I'm doing it this way. But okay, let's do this again. Do the last bit again. We'll take it. Got to keep my support going as I come down. I think as I'm coming down, I am letting it go without realizing it. So we'll do that again. That one I'm okay with. So the idea is actually as your air pressure decreases when you get to lower notes, your airstream itself is actually less stable. So it is, in order to stabilize it, you have to support it. So the support is really good for power up in the high notes, but it is good for stabilization in the lower notes. And so like before, I always used to just kind of by default let go of my support as I'm descending. And that's what causes the cracks in the notes that you guys might be hearing. Tension check. Okay, thank you. Let me do this. Okay. Hey, your teacher took away thumb B flat for a year. Wow, that's pretty metal. That's a pretty metal approach. I mean, it works. So, but yeah, the finger dexterity gets a lot better when you are forced to only use long B flat. I think that like a good balance is to use it in exercises. Personally, my opinion is that when you're playing big pieces of repertoire, ultimately you're going to be a lot more stable, and thus you'll probably perform it better because you feel more stable if you're allowed to use them B flat. And why take that stability from you unnecessarily, you know? However, you're not performing your exercises. So I think that the exercises are a really great place to push your limits, you know? Okay, we are starting from Q51. Oh, this is going to be really good practice for my support. I have to really think about grinding it inwards and propping up my diaphragm. Okay, so we'll start from 51, and then I think it looks like we want to do the whole movement. Let's see if we have time. I need to loosen my lips too a bit. come back to it later. Thank you. Um, okay, I'll take it. I definitely could tell some tension was starting in some places. Starting to pinch here. I could feel this shoulder coming up, which meant that I wasn't supporting quite as well as I would have liked to. But at the same time, it's still better than before. So I'm going to take it. I think I wanted to work on the tremolos. There it is. I'm still, I think, pinching on instinct, but it is getting easier to let it go. So I will take that. Gonna roll it back to the slow bits because I think in the slow bits I was really starting to pinch. So here we go. Well, this part's not really slow, but quality is there, but I'm still kind of fighting it. So it's causing quite a bit of distraction as I play. Lost my support a little bit while I was focusing on lifting my lip. Gotta just keep this loose while propping up my diaphragm. Ooh. Shoulder wasn't sky high. I'll take it. Miguel, hello and welcome to the stream. How are you? Sorry I'm a bit late to say hi. Okay, we're gonna start from 51 again. I know it says that I want to do the whole movement, but I might not do that this time around. I might do it next time though. I might just do the whole movement next time. Losing my support. I want a nice open sound by the time I get to the end. So I think what I'm doing is I'm pinching as I'm going down. Yeah, I think I'm pinching right at, there's a section here where I've highlighted some notes and I think I need to unhighlight them so I stop freaking out when I see them. Okay, we'll do that. Make sure to save the document. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely like closing up my mouth right now. I want to explore that one. I want to see if I can get a sparklier sound up there. Deanna, it's all good. Actually, just like you pointing out the shoulder thing can help me figure out where are the points that I'm not supporting correctly. So it is very good help. Don't worry about it. It's kind of coming and going. Kind of coming and going. I think I'm still overdoing it and not supporting enough, especially on those like really high notes. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. I'm still working on like opening up my mouth. Jake, hello. Can you hear how badly my flute needs? I can really feel the high register is like very finicky, very resistant. When I see you guys next, I'll be sure to ask you guys to give it a check over. working on that high flat, what I'm noticing is that when I go from a lower note, in the stretch up to it, I actually constrict my throat. That's what I just noticed now. So I need to just trust that it'll come out, and I don't need to constrict my throat. Like I can actually feel my throat like that. So yeah. I have to read out what Jake is saying. Feeling tension in your body isn't typical beyond the beginner grade, so the strain you're experiencing indicates the instrument is crying out in pain. Yeah. Sean, also welcome back to the stream. You're starting to feel energized after practicing. That's fantastic. It should feel like you got like really like huge hits of dopamine, you know. No, this is movement 3 from the Ibert. Yeah. Slow-mo whistle. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. To be fair, the Poulenc does sound very similar. You're talking about the second movement, right? It does sound very similar. It's a fingering problem. That's what this is. Okay, so right there, I need to use my index finger, my right index finger, just to stabilize the flute a little bit. Otherwise, it rocks around too much. Are you talking about the high note? The high note is, yeah, a high G sharp. Yes. Yeah, it's really subtle, but like if I don't use my right index finger to stabilize the flute, the whole flute feels like it's doing this. Better. That's feeling better. Okay. We'll leave that. Oh, we will leave that. Okay. Okay. I know what I need to do. All right. Skip forward a bit. E key with my right hand. Oh, you mean the high G sharp? Yeah, right. Yeah, I probably should, huh? Good note. Oh, do you mean this? And then pressing it sounds a bit clearer. Okay, good to know. Thanks for the tip. I believe Jake is referring to a C. So you can stabilize it with your, it sounds like middle and ring fingers, just to bring the pitch down a tiny bit so it doesn't go so sharp. Yeah, crisper. Interesting. Let me write this in. That is so cool. That is extremely, extremely cool. Okay. I'll save that. That part is a beast for your ring finger, because the ring finger is like slower than the rest of your other fingers. Ooh. I'm going to erase some of my markings from before too, because they're not really relevant to the issues that I'm having anymore. Closing up a bit. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I think what Jake was suggesting was not to also put the index finger down, because that'll probably flatten it too much. So I can show you guys. You hear how that flattens it way too much when you put the index down? only using the middle and the ring fingers will like keep it just subtle enough that it'll stabilize it without completely flattening it. I did know this, and thank you for pointing that out, Flautily, so that I could explain it. There are definitely some things that, like, I think when you get to this level of playing, that there's some things that I take for granted that like I know this, but then it's just like it's so stuck in the like deep in my brain that I don't realize I have to say it out loud. Yeah, so if you do just right hand, middle, and ring, you'll notice that like it's just enough to help stabilize the note without like doing a huge change to the tuning. Putting the index down really like flattens it like crazy. Anyway, we're out of time, so let's do a little bit of Rapid as Wildfires. I think that was a good practice session though. That felt really good. Like I was learning things, I was trying things out, getting some of the technique back down. So, and I'm not feeling crazy tired. So that is a good sign. That is a very good sign. I think next time though, let's do the whole movement. Let's do that. Okay, so let's now do just a little bit of Rapid as Wildfires. Maybe again towards the end. Let's see. For a cold run of the end there, not bad. I'm getting used to the feeling of pushing that last bit out, but not in like a wind myself kind of way. So I'm used to going like that, but that's not what works. I have to push the air out in a very, it's hard to describe. I'm still trying to figure out a way to describe it, but it feels more like I'm like propping myself up rather than like winding myself, you know? That's a very different feeling. probably clean up though and grab some lunch. Yeah, I agree with you. You need to attend a meeting. It's okay. I need to go get lunch too. You and me both. Well, thank you so much for joining, and also for like, I do appreciate, Jake, that you are reassuring me that it's not me. So I appreciate that a lot. Wow, this light is very interesting. So sorry guys for the magnificent. Wow, this is something. There. Okay. Man, look at this magnificent quality. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. What is this lighting? This is so bad. Oh my gosh. I still haven't gotten curtains put up here. I've lived here for 4 years and still haven't gotten the curtains put up in here. Oh well, it is what it is. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. And I appreciate your company. I appreciate your words of encouragement, finding my blind spots, telling me that my flute needs fixing so that I know I'm not crazy. Like it's all very like, I just want you guys to know that I very much appreciate it. And I don't take you guys for granted. I definitely feel it when I, you know, especially when I play without playing in front of you guys. I definitely feel the lack of support. And I don't know if that makes me clingy or whatever, but like there is something very comforting about knowing that you guys are here for me and that you guys you know, like want the best for me. And yeah, you guys are great. I love you all so very much. So Misty73, hello. You've been working on getting a frown embouchure and it's slowly coming along. Great. Do I have any tips on how to play in the middle register that the tone is still good? Support. That's what I wish that I knew what I was doing correctly. So you want to make sure that you are essentially doing like belly breathing, yoga belly breathing. So make sure that when you inhale, you increase, or that you protrude your lower core muscles outward to suck in the air, and then you engage the core and prop up your diaphragm as you play. That's something that I am now working on because I realized last week that I had been doing my support backwards this whole time. So yeah, like essentially the frowny embouchure, what you're working with is an embouchure that is really, really loose, especially if before this you were doing smiley embouchure. So a frowny embouchure with how loose it is, because you're not pinching the airstream as much anymore, you don't have your lips to rely on stabilizing the airstream anymore. So all the cracks and stuff that you are hearing in your sound is probably because the airstream now doesn't have the stabilization. So the stabilization needs to come from your support. So that is my like off the cuff tip right there, is to support. Yeah, I wish I knew this because I think that would have made my life a lot easier. Instead, what I ended up doing was learning how to pinch while frowning, which is not the best thing to do, because right now what I have to do is, now that I have learned my support correctly, now what I'm finding I have to do is work on unpinching my lips. So I have to work on constantly just opening up my mouth and letting my support do its job. Yeah. Where do I write my practice checklist? Well, I'm going to be completely and utterly real with you. I did not have a practice checklist until I started streaming. And I noticed after a while of streaming that people would come into the stream partway through and be like, oh, wait, what the heck is she practicing? And so I was like, oh, then maybe I should have a checklist up in the corner so that you guys can see where I'm at when you guys drop in. And then I noticed, I was like, that's interesting because it's actually keeping me really focused. So I just kind of adopted it from then on. Yeah. And so I'm going to be real with you. My practice checklist is exactly the one you see. That is where I write it down. It is in a little text, like a text edit, like a notepad. What was it called? It's like just in a random little text file. And that's it. It just lives in a text file that I open up, and I show you guys, and I look at it mostly off of my streaming software. That is how I stay organized. In terms of how do I decide what I want to do, well, it's kind of organic. I was like, most of it is built around what I want to accomplish in the Ibert, right? So like, hence the Moyse 480 exercises. He has a bunch of fun things to do on there that like I find directly applicable in the Ibert. I wanted to do more tone exercises as well, so I've just been continuing very slowly through the Moyse de la Sonorite because I actually haven't made it 100% through myself. The circular breathing was just because I watched Jasmine Choi show us how to do it in a masterclass, and so I was inspired, and I was like, oh, just add it to the list. It's just kind of organic. I always start out with harmonics to help diagnose my sound that day, to see what I need to do to play well. Yeah. And then I end off with a bit of Genshin because I always want to tag a little bit of just doing something for fun. That, it kind of keeps me focused on the fun of flute playing. And like you need to nurture that. You need to nurture the fun part. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I'm trying to be as truthful as possible. Like, there's no real magic to it. It just kind of evolved over time based on my needs and my wants. So yeah. Oh, you are also blind. Got it. You're not the only one. There's blind guy Texas here as well. Here's what I'll do so that you can read it out to yourself. I'm going to copy it out into the description box below this. So because you should be able to get a narrator, right, to read out the descriptions and stuff. So let me do that really quick. And then I can keep that there for anyone, because I have what I'm practicing. But I'll put here, practice checklist. And I will. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There. So let me save that. If you refresh the page, you should see it in you should be able to open the description box below. I'll leave it in there forevermore. From here on out, I'll leave it in there, the practice checklist, and I'll be sure to update it. In fact, maybe what I should do is update that to read what we did today, which was articulations 1 and 2, and then circular breathing. I think today we did 149. And then we're doing Q51 to end. Okay. Yes, I believe that's what we did today. So I put that in there. I'll be sure to update it every single time before we start practicing. Yes, you are multiplying. Excellent. Excellent. I'm just really glad that you guys are here, and that you guys like, thank you for being open and telling me that you need that. So I hope that works out, that having the practice checklist in the video description can be somewhere that you can like follow along. Do you have any books or resources that tell one a little more about how to improve the frown embouchure with Brie? I'm sorry. I learned everything I know from a teacher. So I am not the best person to ask that. Ironically, you'll actually see a lot of like band books that actually tell you to smile. Like old band books actually tell you to smile. Very old ones. Very old ones. So yeah, there's a lot of conflicting information out there. But yeah, what I learned was from a teacher. So I'm so sorry. I can't make any good recommendations. But do I favor a French vibrato? I think I do. I would not be surprised, because I learned from essentially like a style of playing that was where our ancestry is essentially for the French style way of playing. So like I have a bit of that, and I think I mix it in with a little bit of my Asian heritage as well. You're welcome. You're welcome. Like, come on, like stay with us. Because I am very happy to talk more about just nerdy things like this all the time. I do need to go grab some lunch, so I will have to say goodbye for now. I love you all so very, very much. Please stay happy, healthy, and safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 p.m. Valentine's Day. We're just going to be practicing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't have the energy to do a lot of like themed things. Yeah, there's not going to be a lot of themed stuff. I mean, I guess today we talked about my past crushes, so that's a very Valentine's thing to talk about. But yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. We're just going to have another just like comfort, like another comfort practice stream. Just keep it real chill, and just be nerdy and wholesome. All right. So I love you all so very much. Please take care of yourselves. Stay happy, healthy, safe, because there is no music without the musician. I will see you guys tomorrow. Laters, everyone. Bye.